President Duterte will deliver his sixth and final State of the Nation address on Monday. When he stepped into office, he made a promise that his administration will usher in the so-called golden age of infrastructure. What is the status of this flagship Build, Build, Build program 5 years into the Duterte administration? The Chief of the Transportation Department, Secretary Art Tugade, joins us now here on New Day. Good morning, Sec Art. Thank you for being with us this morning.
Good morning, Ma'am Mai, and to all your televiewers. It's my privilege and good fortune to be able to dialogue with you this morning.
It's good to have you here, Secretary. Now, we've seen a lot of infrastructure projects the past years. Are we anywhere near the touted golden age of infrastructure? What is the status of the Build, Build, Build program?
We have a lot of build projects lined up for completion or up for partial operations before the end of President Rodrigo Duterte's term. Take a look at the airport projects. We have completed 214, while 100 more are ongoing. Completed projects include the Clark International Airport new passenger terminal, which was just inspected very recently, the Mactan Cebu International Airport, the Bohol Panglao International Airport, Sangli Calibo Dumaguete Ormoc Tuguegarao San Vicente Airport in Palawan, and many more. At the maritime sector, we have completed, listen to this, 451 seaport projects and are presently working on 100 more. Included in the completed projects are the Port of Cagayan de Oro, and this is the country's biggest port passenger terminal to date. The capacity is 3,000 passengers. The Pangasinan River Landing in Lingayen, the Victoria Port in Laguna, Port of Tacbilaran in Bohol, ports of Borac, San Fernando, and Batarasa in Palawan, ports of Dumaguete, Limasawa, and Ormoc in the Visayas. And there is also the ports of General Santos, Babac in Davao del Norte, Cantillán in Surigao, and many more. For the road transport projects, we have completed the nearly 500 kilometers bike lane network in Metro Cebu, Metro Davao, and Metro Manila. We also have completed the Parañaque Integrated Terminal Exchange and established the EDSA subway. Hindi ho pahuhuli yung railway sector. We have completed the LRT2 East Extension while working on the LRT1 Cavite Extension, Common Extension, Metro Manila Subway, MRT7, and the massive rehabilitation of MRT3, North-South Commuter Railways, and the Mindanao Railways. Ito po ang mga example na mga ginagawa namin sa Build, Build, Build at nagawa na at marami pa pong gagawin.
That is a lot, Secretary, but talking about the flagship projects, there were 119 in the initial list, and I understand it was revised to 104 back in April or May. What is the status now? How much of it will be completed by the end of the President's term?
The exciting news, Ma'am, is we have numerous projects up for completion and inauguration this year. Some of our projects will also be partially operated. Let's start with the rails. Apart from the LRT2 extension we formally opened last July of this year, 2 more railway projects will be completed this year. This includes the massive rehabilitation of the MRT3 and the Common Station. MRT7 will have its trial run for stations 4 to 8 on April 2022. For the Metro Manila Subway, trial runs shall also be conducted from East Valenzuela to the Philippine Railway Institute in April 2022. The Philippine Railway Institute, which is the DOTR's Research and Training Center, focused on human resources development of the railway sector, shall have its partial operation in June of 2022. In the aviation front, we have airport projects slated for completion and inauguration this year. As mentioned, the Clark International Airport Terminal 2. This was inaugurated last week and will formally open for flights in September. Meanwhile, listen to this. The new Bicol International Airport is likewise targeted to be finished before this year end and will be operational before the year end. Other airports are also up for inauguration this year. This include one in Catarman, the Butuan Airport, the Busuanga Airport in Palawan, Zamboanga Airport Rehabilitation Project, Siquijor Project, and the General Santos Airport. For seaports, we have completed projects that are scheduled for inauguration this year, including the Port of Ormoc in Leyte, the Port of Babac in Davao, the Port of Tabaco and Legazpi in Bicol, Port of Osamis, Puerto Princesa in Palawan, Maribojoc in Bohol, just to mention a few.
Yes, Secretary, we're running out of time, so I'd just like to get your thoughts on this. Critics are saying the Duterte administration has overpromised yet under-delivered. In fact, InfraWatch gave President Duterte a failing grade and also criticized the government's ballooning debt to China over some projects. What's your take on this?
Number one, the overpromise. While we overpromise as people claim, we have performed substantially. There is nothing wrong in making overpromises, as you stated, provided there is completion and accomplishment as done. And I told you, Madam, that there has been projects done on the promises we have made. Regarding the China contracts being entered into, please remember, and you will note, that let us take, for instance, the matter of rails. Most of the projects are not with China. The projects are with Japan and other countries in the world. So to say that we are overly exposed and committed to China is a little bit erroneous and not based on facts.
All right, Secretary, one issue that we need to discuss is the pandemic's effect on the transport sector. Despite the threat of the Delta variant, more people are going out, lalo na po yung mga bakunado na. Now, this also means more people in mass transport systems. How are you planning to address this to avoid overcrowding and the possible transmission of the virus in public transport?
We are still following the recommendations of experts. The DOTR continues to implement safety and health protocols inside public transport, such as wearing of face mask and face shield, regular disinfection, no talking and eating, and maintaining appropriate physical distancing. We also prohibit boarding of vulnerable individuals, including pregnant women, children, and senior citizens, except during emergencies and other circumstances as authorized by the IATF. Let us take a look of what we are doing at the rail sector. We have designated transportation marshals to ensure that health protocols will be observed by passengers inside train and station. On the roads, we have partnered with LGUs for the deployment of policemen to aid in the enforcement of minimum health standards. In the aviation sector, we continue to adhere to IATF protocols as well as with IATA for passengers. In the maritime sector, we have the Philippine Coast Guard and the PPA to implement safety and health protocols inside passengers, vessels, and terminals. To complement this initiative, we are also relentless in developing our transport infrastructure to serve the people better amid this pandemic. This is why we are increasing the number of bus units as EDSA Busway, fast-tracking the rehabilitation of MRT3, and promoting the use of active transport.
All right, thank you, Secretary Art Tugade. We hope that the people will really adhere to the safety protocols. Thank you for joining us this morning here on New Day.